Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin probably, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISOT down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Y'all, why my neighbors wait until now? They wait until now to want to do construction and beat on shit. They could have been beating on shit all day when I wasn't doing nothing. What's up, y'all? We back, okay, for weekends on. We were just doing a live, okay? Like, forgive me for the informality, okay? You guys, I feel like we're gonna wait to talk about Ready to Love, even though I put this up here first. Let's talk about Ladies Who List first. Let's do that first, because I have some real strong opinions. Okay. Y'all ready? Hey, everybody. Okay, I'm glad y'all don't hear it. All right. It's cold, y'all. It's getting cold right now. So, you know, until I get up and start moving around and doing my workout and killing myself, you know, I gotta have the robe on, girl. So let's go ahead and get into Ladies Who List. So Kira takes B. Simone to look at a $600,000 condo up in the sky. Now we're up in the big leagues, and it's our turn. It bad, okay? As long as we here and you and me, baby, then ain't nothing wrong with that. We're moving on up. Stupid ass. Okay, listen. It was a cute little scene. B. Simone and Kira go way back to when B. Simone did hair and Kira worked at that drug front that is Mattress Firm. Okay. It's a running joke that, you know, Mattress Firm must be a drug front because no matter what's going on, there's always a mattress firm and they stay open. Everywhere else closes down from no business, but somehow Mattress Firm stays open. We don't understand. None of us do. Who buys mattresses that often? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not an every year buy. But anyway, y'all, so B. Simone says that she and her ex were going to buy a home together, but they ended up breaking up. And I'm like, was that the dude that you manifested? I'm going to let it go. But she broke up with him. So now she wants a condo instead of a house because who's going to take out the trash? Baby girl, who's going to cut the grass? Him. He's not here. He can't. We got to get a condo. And the place was cute, but the closets weren't big enough and neither was the bathroom. It had beautiful views. It was a corner apartment, but it needed somebody to come in and rip out the walls and make one of the bedrooms a full open closet or something because it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give for the Instagram flashy lifestyle that B. Simone wants to show off to everybody. So that wasn't the place. But her and Kira were cute. cute little fun scene. You know what I'm saying? Cute little fun scene. So then we had Kiana. Kiana is on Instagram Live, okay? And I didn't even realize me and Kiana followed each other already. I went on Instagram to, try to follow a few of the girls. And I was like, oh, child, we already follow each other. I knew I had seen her, and I feel like, I saw her. I think she might have followed me, or I might have followed her because they told me that she might have been one of, when I was looking for a house in Atlanta. And trust me, I'm going to make my way back that way, but we still have to just handle everything here first. We're still handling things here. So, but that is in the future to go back to Atlanta. So listen, okay, listen. I'm gonna be back in y'all market trying to find me a nice house, okay? Sold to me by some black women's, okay? But she was on Instagram Live and she talks to us about how much her business means to her. It's not just that she grew up in the projects, it's also that her mother and her family members depend on her. And she made it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's very serious and real and deep for her that she continues to do well in real estate and in her business the way she does. It's a testament to how she's made it, the fact that she lives in luxury and sells luxury homes versus the way she grew up. It's like that for a lot of the ladies. So we also meet her husband, Anthony. She has been married to him for 8 years. And basically, he's her person. They were friends for 13 years. And eventually it became more than that. And now they've been married going on a decade. I was like, all right, girl, listen, we love to see the girls with all of it now. We love to see the girls with all of it. And what we mean by that is beautiful, nice body, good businesses, brains, and a man. Okay, because y'all always try to act like women who present themselves in this way can't find a man, which is bullshit. So I appreciate, I don't see that depiction often. I don't see depictions of somebody like myself. You be married for a long time, well, not for a long time, but for a few years, you don't have no kids, and you're successful in your career, and people are always asking you every 5 minutes, when are you going to have kids, as if they know, what's going on with your womb. It's weird, but I see you, girl, and I'm here for it. And I'm here for the way her husband had the chef in there cooking breakfast. I was like, did she say what he did for a living? I don't know, but they got a chef in that bitch, and their house was nice. Did y'all see the wine, the clear glass wine cellar that was behind her? I said, bitch, that house is nice. You better live in a nice house when you sell them, okay? But they talk about the situation with Robin. And apparently Robin used to date one of Anthony's friends. And he is also feeling like Robin didn't handle the situation with Kiana the right way. And he was not expecting her to try to charge Kiana $13,000 for those contracts, right? And y'all know, I don't know about real estate now, y'all. So I'm not exactly sure what was to be expected. But honestly, y'all, it almost sounds like y'all wanted that lady to work for free. I don't know if it's just me, y'all. Let me know if there's anybody in here that is actually in real estate. Let me know. Like, is that a lot to charge somebody? Like, should she have not charged her for that? Because I'm like, even in business, I don't understand why. Even in business, I don't understand why you would expect somebody to do something for free. Like, I don't understand that. Like, I understand we're friends, but I don't expect any of my friends to do anything for me for free if that's their business. So I'm just confused on what that situation is about. And I'm looking forward to the conversation they're going to have next week privately, where we can understand it a little bit better. I'm glad that B. Simone declined on that condo because it had concrete walls, and every builder knows that concrete holds moisture and isn't good. Okay, that's good to know. The episode had me tussling through all my emotions. Crystal is on that BS. I don't care for her antics. She likes poking the easily triggered bear that is Robin. A true friend would not do that. Child, she did a whole bunch of shit in that scene that had me looking at her like, oh girl. Oh girl, Crystal, what are you going through, my girl? Like, as much as you big yourself up, you have to have some deep center of insecurity for you to play with that lady the way you play with that lady. Like, there has to be some insecurities in her for her to act the way she does with Robin. And I'm going to just say that right now, okay? In any business, I have a license to protect as well. Yes, it will cost. Not mad at Robin if something happens. It would be on her, not Q. The problem, they expected it to be free. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, why would y'all expect her to do that for free? I don't understand. Like, that sounds crazy to me. Robin said she wasn't there mentally at the time. She asked her to brokerage the properties. Yeah, we're going to get into that. But still, the conversation that they were having in this moment, I don't understand why either one of them thought that that lady should have charged absolutely nothing to hold those contracts. I looked it up. The lowest price is about 200. The highest is 5,000 to hold contracts, and she charged 500. Okay. With contract work in your house, you need to trust the builder. Never give up all money up front either. Who does that? Like, Robin is so transparent with her feelings. I love it because it seems like we're clear on the walls that she puts up. Crystal comes off fake. Yes. But we haven't gotten to Crystal yet, y'all. So just hold on. That's why I can't be in the comments. Okay. That's why I can't be in the comments, y'all, until I'm done. So we get to know more about Kira this episode. She grew up moving around a lot. Kira is biracial, and grew up mostly in her grandmother's double wide trailer with her mom, and they moved around a lot. And it was always a dream of hers to have her own huge, beautiful home. And her ex-boyfriend had accomplished that. Okay. They purchased a 5,500 square foot home together. They both were out of town, and she gets a call from her neighbor at 8 o'clock in the morning saying that her house had burnt down. They hadn't even been in the house for a month. She took one duffel bag on her trip to Miami, come back to everything being gone. Everything. I said, girl. And they didn't tell us how the fire started either. Like, I'm curious to know, how did that damn house burn down like that? But I felt so bad for her. That is terrible, y'all. It's terrible losing everything and having to start all over again. But I will say that I feel like, because I have lost things like that, there is a freedom to not being tied down too hard to places. Yes, but you love your home, you create solace in your home and peace in your home and all of that. But that can be recreated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a hard time letting go of my childhood home. And the funny part about it is, we were going to move out of that house anyway. But losing it the way we did, it almost felt like a death. The house is still there, and they rebuilt it, and it looks much smaller and way cheaper than when we lived in it. Okay. So it's just crazy how, even that house that's still there, same front door, same brick and everything, had to be completely gutted. House is not the same. The house that was there when we lived there, dead and gone. Okay. It's crazy. But anyway, we see Tiffany, y'all. We finally get to see Tiffany like by herself, so I can get a clearer understanding of who she is. Because y'all know, last time I reviewed this shot, I didn't know who was who. Okay. But this is Tiffany, right? This is Tiffany right here. Okay. This is Tiffany. I think. Okay. I think that's her. Okay. Yes. And this one down here is Tiana. Okay. Child, with the different hairstyles, it's a little hard to tell them apart because they kind of look a lot alike, especially when they had similar hairstyles. But anyway, we see Tiffany at home managing her work and her kids. We've already heard about how this has been a struggle, but she went a little bit more deeper into the situation. It sounds like to me she had, a little breakdown. She was having to manage their children, the household, the business, and she was having panic attacks and anxiety. My mom went through this herself when she was in her 40s, where, it was like she was having panic attacks. She would have to stop the car sometimes and all of that. Like, it was a while of her dealing with that. I think it was like right around the time after my grandmother died too, that it was a little bit too much, and it was starting to show itself in other ways with the panic attacks. That's what happens with people who don't let life stop them. When people, like myself, like my mom, my dad, like people who, even though family members are dying, shit is going bad, they don't take days off from work like that. They don't, you know what I'm saying? They take their vacations and shit, but the work still has to be done. They don't take a moment to stop and, check in with themselves when they're going through things. They just keep living their lives, and eventually it starts showing up in panic attacks and anxiety and all of that type of shit. So I definitely understood what she was talking about. And she said the fact that she had a village around her really helped. She had a good therapist, her husband, her kids, her mom, her friends. Like, like Tiana and her husband, were very supportive to her. Tiana and her husband Arnold are, friends with she and her husband. So when Tiffany and her husband Jeff have their anniversary dinner, Tiana and Arnold are there, and they have a conversation about how the ladies feel about Robin and how the ladies feel about Crystal. And they're interested in what Robin has to say, but the husbands don't feel like it's going to work out. Y'all can be friends, but y'all can't work together. And, honestly, the idea that these Black women can go and work with everybody else but each other is bothersome to me. Like, I understand that everybody has their issues and you don't have to work with anybody you don't want to work with. But I think it's sad to me when the automatic thought is these Black women can't come together and work together. These Black women can go and work with white people, Asian people, Spanish people, everybody else, and do well, but they can't work amongst other Black women in that same way. And I just think that's sad. It bothers me. But because I feel like there's such power and strength when Black women come together and support each other. It's really like a magical godlike thing. What I think happens to Black women when they support each other in a real way instead of in a fake way. When they support each other in a real way, when Black women come together, they can like influence each other to excel and do better in a way that I often find I don't even think that men can do. You know what I'm saying? Like women will come together with a friend, girl, why you with that piss poor ass nigga? Get a better nigga, get a better job. Like they help their friends see themselves the way they should see themselves, and that can help. Especially if you're insecure and you feel like you don't deserve better, but you do. You need you a friend that can tell you, yes, you do, girl, and yes, you can do better, girl. You know what I'm saying? You need you a friend that can do that. All right. So that's just very important. Period. Okay. So when I hear them talking about how these women can't come together, it just kind of makes me upset. But we'll see. Either way, they catch their men up on Robin inviting the ladies to collaborate. Then she has her issues with Crystal. Crystal asked her when she was going through it to pass her clients over to her to loosen up her load. And she just felt like Crystal wasn't coming from a genuine place with it. So off rip, we have Tiffany feeling like Crystal is fake. So when we get to the sit down, and Tiffany was the only person that spoke up on Robin's behalf, it was just kind of like, okay, now we see why. Okay. And everybody was kind of setting, like all of the scenes before the big scene were setting us up for the big scene. And I like that. That's good production. Hey, it's Quasia. Thank you for the super chat. I don't see an issue with charging her that much. My husband been doing home building for over 30 years, and we always have a change pricing per situations, especially with this corona extra going around. Okay, understood. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. So we see Robin taking a client to see a condo at the Healy building. Apparently, Robin sells a lot of homes in condos in the Healy building. And she tells us how she came to Atlanta to start over in 2006. She was a single mother at the age of 16. She went through physical and mental abuse. We all know that the women in her life abandoned her, so she didn't grow up with, having a lot of women around her or any real support. And she says that she survived everything. And she says when you do business with her, you will have a wonderful, pleasurable experience because she loves what she does. And it's one of the only things that she has that loves her back. And when Robin said that in the confessional, honestly, that low-key sold me. I was like, damn, I would like her to sell me. Like just the fact that she feels that way about what she does. I love when people love what they do. It makes me want to work with them because they like what they do versus feeling forced to do it. So I know if you love what you do, you're going to handle your business with care versus, not giving a fuck or throwing it to the side because you just want to get it over with. You know what I'm saying? But either way, they look at this cute little condo, her and this man, and he eventually decides to go ahead and buy the condo. So Robin sold a condo at the Healy. She said that building feeds her, which means she must have a really good relationship with the people who own the building. Okay. So Tiana gets a real estate award, you guys. She actually got best social media, I believe, a real estate campaign or something along those lines. Tiffany and Kira were there to support her, and they discussed Robin and how she has a niche for selling condos. And it sounded like Tiana was a little bit more open to Robin than maybe Kira was. Kira is coming off real immature to me. Okay. At first I thought I was gonna like her, but the way she came off this episode, it was like, oh my God, seriously? Like this generation, y'all gonna tire me the fuck out caring about shit that don't nobody care about. But either way, Kira says that she knows that Robin sells in the Healy a lot, and it isn't an easy building to sell in because the parking is trash, and just basically saying like all she do is sell out this one building. And Tiana was like, I think she sells in a lot more buildings than the Healy. And I like that because I was like, Tiana is like, we cool, girl, but I'm not about to sit here in front on this lady and act like she doesn't do what she does because you don't like her because she unfollows you on Instagram. You are way too bothered by people unfollowing you on Instagram. Like, I do this for a business and I'm really like not that bothered. Like the one time I was bothered, it was because to me that meant something because you're my friend. So, and we're the same age. So if you go through the trouble of unfollowing me on social media, you trying to prove a point to me. And that's cool. But I'm never going to use that as a reason to not do business with somebody. You unfollowed me on social media. Give a fuck. Maybe my post was aggravating that bitch that day. I don't know. But it just ain't, it's not that deep to me. In real life, y'all, it's not that deep to me. I've unfollowed people and still, went to their weddings and still was happy for them and all of that. I don't need to see you on my social media feed, in order to support you in real life or not have an issue with you. You know what I'm saying? But either way, we just know that Kira has a real big issue with people unfollowing her on social media, right? So Robin sits down with the women finally. They all got there before her. She walks in, bad as fuck in her little pink dress and her curly blonde hair serving and everything. Okay. And they toast and she thanks Crystal for bringing everybody together, giving Crystal her props for assisting in this endeavor. Okay. Trying to start off on a good foot. Robin says that she feels like all of the ladies are doing well in their respective niche and that they should come together and create a signature series and take over all of the different counties in their respective niches. You got your luxury, you got your celebrity, you got your condo, you got your commercial, you got, we need lawyers to close these things. That's where I'm guessing Tiffany and Crystal will come into play, because everybody can't handle everything all the time. Some people be off some days, some people be on some days. Two people would be great for that job if we're all going to work together. It's honestly a really great idea, right? Kiana brings up, the issue that she has with her. And Robin says that she was going through something at the time and she apologizes for that. And they decide that maybe they should have that conversation, just amongst themselves, separate from everybody else. And I was happy with that because I felt like everybody else was trying to make the situation even worse. Crystal. And Kiana even says, I don't want to get involved in anything between best friends because it seemed like Crystal and Robin had some shit going on underlying. Okay. But either way, I also didn't like that. I felt like when Robin was trying to explain where her headspace was, Kiana felt like she was deflecting. And it's like, I don't think she's deflecting, but you want an explanation for her behavior and she's giving you an explanation. You just don't like that the explanation comes with, I was going through something. So then that requires you to have some understanding. And you didn't want to have understanding. You wanted to come to the table as the person that was getting all of the understanding. You didn't want to share any grace. I don't feel like they wanted to give Robin any real grace in the situation, even though Kiana kind of wanted to let it go for now, right? Tiffany says, that sounds like what I went through, and I think you guys should talk privately. And I appreciated Tiffany for interjecting in the moment to say, hey, that sounds familiar to me. And sometimes people are in bad spaces. This is something that y'all can talk about later and get over. It's not like Robin was trying to fuck over you. Robin wasn't in a place to deal with you. So whatever happened, it can be discussed later. Kira then brings up, she doesn't know what the issue is, but she, saw that Crystal and Robin unfollowed her around the same time. And Robin is like, oh, girl, it's probably just the algorithm. And Robin, we know it's not the algorithm, but I also feel like you unfollowed Kira either because of how she is on social media or you unfollowed her because Crystal unfollowed her and y'all probably had a conversation about it and you decided you were going to have your friends back. I don't know why that's what's screaming to me, but something is telling me that the reason why Robin unfollowed Kira is because of some shit between Crystal and Kira, not because of anything that Robin actually feels about Kira. Or she may have not just wanted to see her on her timeline. Like, y'all, there are some people who I love them, but they post too fucking much for me. They annoy me. And instead of commenting, bitch, you annoy me, I'm just going to unfollow you or restrict you. Like, that's it. But that doesn't need to make it into a, oh, you have a problem with me conversation all the time. Robin makes it very clear she doesn't have a problem with Kira. And Kira continues to come at her by saying, you know, a lot of older agents, it's like, oh my God, are you really about to make it seem like these women are jealous of you because you're younger? Even though I understand that older women can be that way, what does that have to do with unfollowing somebody? I just felt like Kira was trying to have a moment. Okay. The girls start moaning because everybody is older than Kira. And, you know, Robin stands up like, girl, I look good for my age. Okay. And I have sold 165 houses. So we may be older, but we're, you know, we have more experience. And Kira was like, and how many years it took you to sell 165 houses? She was like, it doesn't matter. She was like, it does matter. Okay. And then she said something about, well, I just graduated from high school, basically saying that I'm doing all of this and I'm way younger than you. So I must be ahead of you because I'm doing all of this younger than you. And it's like, well, did you have a baby at 16? Did you have a supportive family? Because it seems like you had your mom in your life and Robin didn't. If you really want to break it all the way down, you probably had a lot of blessings in your life that Robin did not have. So don't compare your life to hers. That's a mistake you were making. Honestly, Kira was being very young-minded, very immature in this moment. And Robin says, you know, so what, do you have a point to prove or something? I'm not about to argue with someone that's the same age as one of my kids about fucking Instagram, which I totally understood, to be honest with you guys. Okay. And then Crystal keeps trying to check Robin, like Robin is the one that's being out of pocket. Kira says, you know, don't be a fan of me online, DMing me how beautiful I am, or telling me, oh, you're so beautiful, and then you gonna come to this dinner like an op, because I'll shit on you. And I was just like, oh, girl, you really trying to have a moment. You thought you were saying something. Every time she turned her head, she was like dramatically trying to have a moment. You were trying to disrespect Robin, and I don't understand where it was coming from, because you're the one that started with the ages shit. You started that. Robin says that was uncalled for. Like, you telling me you gonna shit on me? Like, really? Like, is it at that point? To me, it felt like Kira was the one that was on one. And then Crystal, y'all, at some point, because Crystal was trying to turn this into a kumbaya moment between her and Kira, Robin wasn't letting it go. Robin is like, this is so uncalled for. We're grown. How old are you arguing with me about Instagram? Crystal then gets upset that the energy isn't her way. So she gets up and walks over to where Robin is and, you know, tells Robin that she was being rude as fuck to Kira when she asked them for some grace in this moment. I was like, girl, what are you doing? This is Robin's dinner. Robin is the one that's supposed to be leading this. Why are you getting up to stand next to her so you can point out how she's talking to Kira like shit when Kira is the one over here wilding out over fucking Instagram? Like, it didn't make any sense to me. And I love when Robin turned to her and said, she just said she wanted to shit on me and you didn't stand up and say a fucking thing. So please take yourself back to your chair and sit your ass down. Talk to her like she was a child, but she deserved it as far as I was concerned. And so Robin sits down and she's having a conversation with Kiana because Kiana feels like they're trying to glaze over her issue when we already said we're going to talk about that later. Okay. And I don't know if y'all noticed it, but Robin is bent down talking to Kiana like this, and Crystal walks and kind of bumps her head with her ass. Like, walk past, kind of like, you know, doing like this. I was like, why is you doing all of this extra moving around? You could have walked your ass around the table like you did when you came and stood next to her the first time. But now you're going to be, I felt like she was trying to antagonize Robin. And in that moment, Robin was so busy talking to Kiana, she didn't even really pay attention to the fact that the girl was trying to hit her in the fucking head with her hips. Seemed very intentional to me. That's when I was like, you're really trying to antagonize her. Robin says that Kira is acting like a child. Crystal is telling Robin to stop. Robin is trying to talk to Kiana about her firm that she feels Robin shitted on. But Crystal keeps telling Robin to stop. And then she says that Robin is triggered. And Robin jumps up in her face and slaps her hand down. And, because she kept like, you're triggered. You're triggered. She was like, you gonna stop fucking saying I'm triggered before I show you what being triggered really is. It was very antagonistic. Crystal says that she doesn't know what to do. She's never had a moment where Robin couldn't calm down, from the sound of her voice. And I'm just like, Crystal, you're on bullshit. Crystal, you are on utter fucking bullshit. You antagonized that situation. You almost tried to buck those women up to have an issue with Robin. And every time Robin was trying to simmer shit down, you would say or do something to hype the shit back up. I noticed that you were doing that as she was trying to talk to the other women. You really shouldn't have had anything to say. You really shouldn't have had anything to say unless it was you and Kira having a conversation about whatever your issue with Kira is. But it definitely seems like you the one that had an issue with Kira, and somehow you sat up here and made it seem as if Robin is the one with the problem. Also, you can seem like you're the more mature good guy in the situation. I don't know what sis was trying to do, but it was messy as fuck, and I did not like it. I did not like it at all. What are y'all saying in the comments? Crystal's outfit was horrible. Crystal and Robin are actually a match made in hell. Yep, Kira and Crystal were teaming to attack Robin. Crystal's legs were so shiny in that scene. Imagine already having issues and everyone ganging up on you, and your one friend there is instigating and cackling as everyone is coming at you. Robin needs to rethink her friendship with Crystal. Absolutely. Crystal is too much. I don't like her. And then Crystal want to throw her hands up like, I don't know what I did wrong. Aggy as fuck. Crystal enjoys pointing out Robin's triggers because she needs her to stay the crazy friend to make her feel superior. Y'all don't understand. People was arguing with me talking about, people aren't always worrying about where people's positions are in life when they friends with them. It's like, I really need for y'all to understand. Nobody is higher than anybody, really. Like, not in real life. Everybody's a fucking human, bleeding, breathing, and living life, and being, being on somebody's timetable to die. Everybody's life, it is equal at the end of the day. And, for real, for real. But ultimately, people love to befriend or have friends that they believe are beneath them. Not that the person actually is, but that they believe the person to be beneath them in some way because it makes them feel better about being in the position that they're in, but still feeling undeserving. When I talked about Shekinah and Tiny, Tiny feels undeserving because people are always talking about her looks, and T.I. is always disrespecting her and cheating on her until recent years when he needed to hold on to her so that he can prove he was a nice family man and not the vagrant that some of us think he may be. Okay? So ultimately, it seems very clear that Tiny would keep friends around that she felt like was beneath her to make her feel better whenever she was having a moment of feeling less than, usually incited by her old ignorant ass husband. Okay? So, yeah, that's how that works, y'all. So, yes, as beautiful and as amazing as Crystal is and has had this beautiful, life, and her parents have taken care of her and all of that great shit, she can still in some way feel inadequate. She can still in some way feel insecure and needs to keep Robin in a place of being the crazy, aggressive friend so that she can always come off as the good girl. So she can always come off as the better of two evils. So she can always come off like somebody that's superior because she will be standing next to someone who's acting a fucking fool. You see what I'm saying? It's the same premise of not being that cute, but if you're standing next to somebody that's uglier, you look cuter. See what I'm saying? Like when mean girls have friends that they know aren't considered really pretty, or they are, all the girls are less popular and they're like the main pretty popular chick in their clique, it's because they don't want competition and they want to always be standing next to someone who in comparison seems lesser. It was very gaslighty, y'all. It was a fucking mess. And I didn't appreciate it at all. But anyway, with that being said, that's all I have to say. Crystal's energy is dark and she uses everything Robin tells her to push her buttons. Robin is too emotionally stunted to recognize she's allowing her to bait her. Absolutely. You know why? Because Crystal, before I go, let me take this moment to say this to you. I'm Robin. Let me take this moment to say this to you. Robin, there at your age, and with everything you've been through and everything you've worked for, nobody should be able to take you out of character in that way. Not a friend, not a foe. No one should bring you to a place where you are standing up in a restaurant about to smack the shit out of somebody in your beautiful dress and your nice heels. It should never have gotten you to that point. And that's because you need to do some more work on yourself so you can learn how to control yourself when people are trying to antagonize you. Okay? Take a deep breath, take a drink, okay? Say what you got to say, mean what you say when you say it, and move on. And if everybody wants to stay in a negative place, then I guess this isn't the group of women that you need to be talking to. You know what I'm saying? But the idea that because she reacted the way she reacted, she's 100% to blame. Child, I don't know who Crystal thought she was going to run that on because it didn't work over here. It did not work, okay? But yes, y'all, let me go ahead and move on from here so we can get into Ready to Love. I need to go put some more honey in my coffee because I ran out of sugar. So y'all do me a favor, like the video. I got that in my system. Somebody gonna be my victim. Thank you. Y'all, I got a new, never mind. You be quiet. Yeah. Everybody was talking about it. So I got me one. I'm looking forward to trying it out later. But I feel like it's not gonna be, it ain't gonna be up to the hype. It ain't gonna be up to the hype because I feel like, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Okay. There aren't many of those that, surprise me. Okay. Whew. Y'all ready? She don't need the payment plan. She need to hire, use her next commission check and hire a regular therapist. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. We ready. All right, so let's talk about a few of these looks before we get into the notes of it all. First of all, let me pull up my notes. Where is Ready to Love It? Because it's really ready to fuck. So Tanika Gray takes over because nephew Tommy got the COVID. So he was like, she don't play, y'all. She gonna do good. I'm sorry. I like Tanika. I have seen Tanika on many things. I think she is a beautiful woman. I think she's a good host. I just don't think she was a good host for this cast. We needed Tommy there. We needed somebody that was going to check people. We needed somebody there that was going to know the ins and outs so that they didn't allow for the conversations to just keep going and going without any real checkage going on. You know what I'm saying? So I was not a fan of her doing this reunion, and I'm sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's no shade to her. I don't even want, because y'all, I don't like to feel like I'm stopping any black lady from getting another job, okay, or contributing or anything. But she just wasn't. No, it just felt like it was last minute. She didn't watch the show. She don't really know what's going on, but her questions was on her cue card. I did not know. This wasn't the way. Let's talk about it. I think Sabrina looked really beautiful. Her makeup and her hair was very beautiful. The necklace, she was, she has her own little eclectic style, and I think she looked beautiful for her style. I think Phil looked nice with his sparkly ass jacket on. I think Sydney looked beautiful. I think they put too much makeup on Sean, but he looked nice. Zadia had that dumbass smile on her face the entire episode. Her makeup was terrible, but her body looked amazing. Her hair was giving Morticia Adams, and I just felt like all the ways around her look needed to be softer. So I would have preferred curls instead of straight hair. And the makeup was way too much up and around the eyes, girl. And Camille made stupid faces the entire episode. I actually did like Camille's situation. That color is beautiful on her. She looked amazing. Her man, on the other hand, looks like Mr. Black Genie in a lamp. Okay. Like, I don't know what's going on, but you're going to rub him and he's going to pop out. He might pop out. Never mind. I'm going to let it go. But Cornelius is giving henpecked Christian boy that has decided that he wants to be with a crazy woman instead of being free and being gay. I'm sorry. This outfit didn't give me anything, okay, but a very oiled up chest on the lookout for a very masculine oiled up chest itself. Like, I'm sorry. I have to be honest about these things. Cornelius seems like a nice guy, but nothing about Cornelius makes me feel like he was really trying to be with Camille. I don't care how many satin pillowcases they drape themselves in. I don't care how many nude photo shoots they do. I don't care how much they're seen together on social media. People fake relationships in real life just like they do on TV. And Cornelius, based on the pictures you have of yourself hanging on the wall in your apartment and the aesthetic in the vibe and the grill that you had in your mouth, good sir, you are giving me, I could be gay, but I don't want to disappoint my parents. So I'm gonna just be with a woman because I could do either or. I could do either or. Even though I ain't gonna lie, I like me a fine ass nigga. But society wise, church wise, I can't do that. Okay. And I know I'm gonna want children and a wife eventually, so let me just go ahead and tie this crazy bitch down because she's so into me. But like she said, Camille has often made these niggas think she was all into them, all to leave them at the altar. So we gonna see how it all plays out. Because Cornelius, you're gonna get codependent and then she gonna drop your ass like a bad habit. Okay. When she called him a country bumpkin and dressed him down, the way she constantly, I mean, honestly, she could have put her hand up his ass and spoke for him as far as I was concerned. He wasn't expressing a thought without her in consideration. He was not expressing any of his own feelings. It was all what he knew she wanted to hear. It was all of what he knew would make her happy. Like every response he gave was dishonest as far as I was concerned. Period. Period. And Mumine, I'm not sure what Mumine has on, but I didn't like her hair. I thought her wig, did they not flat iron the wig? Did you just throw the wig on and you didn't do it? Like what? Frank looked nice, but who cares? Um, who else? Who else looks can we talk about? Naeem and Zadia were matching. We're gonna get to them soon. I think Carrie looks very beautiful. I already told y'all Sydney looked beautiful. I think Ticia looked beautiful. I don't know what homeboy next to her was going through, but hey, if you wanted to look like a golden lord, that's on you. I liked Courtney's dress. I did not like her hair. I know it was her natural hair, but girl, clip-ins or something. That bob needed a little bit more thickness to it, my girl. Or you should have wore it curly, but it needed something. It was very much giving middle school pictures. I think Aisha's makeup didn't match, but she looked cute. I don't know why her man had a lace suit on, and I don't have a picture of it. I'm so mad. But he had a lace suit on, and I was just like, is it lace? Is the suit lace? I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get into the notes now that I've said all that. Let's go back to this one. So, like I said, did not like the fact that Tanika was the host. Moving on from there, Sabrina apologizes to Sean and all of the pancake makeup he has on his face for her friends being, as he called it, the Negro Inquisition and questioning his morals and integrity for dear God. Sean says he was being honest, but he wasn't trying to force anything to happen that wasn't happening. Um, and he didn't enjoy the process of being on the show and dating all of the different women. And I just kind of don't understand why he came on the show. And I also felt like his attitude was very accusatory. As much as everybody was trying to keep it cool, it was almost like he wanted to come on the show so that he can feel validated that he got an unfair shake and a bad edit. And it was like, Sean, we really don't care that much, dude. Like, we don't. I don't even know why we started out with you. But anyway, then we got Sydney saying that she prefers Phil because he is a calm type of guy and he was the only one not paying attention to her when she first joined the cast. So right now they are dating exclusively, which we knew they were going to be as long as Sydney was still interested in Phil. Okay, as long as Sydney is interested in Phil, then the situation is going to be what it is, and you can tell. Okay. So Camille slash Olivia slash Shay Shay. Apparently, Camille has a whole bunch of personalities inside of herself that she has prayed away since the show. But she and Cornelius are still together. He looks a mess. I told y'all it was giving Black Genie vibes. Okay. Camille blames editing for her coming off as possessive and says all of her facial expressions were entertaining. She's very entertaining. She wasn't going to own being possessive. I'm not going to own that. I'm not going to own that at all. Okay. I'm just very sarcastic and people just don't get it. I'm like, okay, Camille. Okay. Right. It was the editing. You're not crazy. Anyway, y'all, we'll come back to her with that foolishness. It's a lie from the pits of hell. You're very possessive. You're being possessive while we're sitting here watching the reunion show. This is just one shot. What are we talking about? Sabrina is like, girl, okay. Basically, Sabrina was all of us. Most of the reunions, Sabrina was us. We was Sabrina. Okay. All right, girl. That's fine. Tanika asked, does she have anything to say? Because she was laughing while Camille was sitting on stage lying. And she says, child, listen, them people don't pay my bills. I don't care about what nothing they got going on. Nothing that they have going on is relevant to my life. So they can do what they're doing over there. They can lie all they want to, but we all know that man don't really want her. That's what it felt like. Okay. Tyrone and Carrie. Tyrone finally gives Carrie the diss that she deserved, the more respectful diss, okay? Basically saying that he was more interested in Shiloh, and because of that, he wanted to forego getting to know her any further. But he said it in a way that was respectful of her instead of accusatory, the way he was originally when he told her she was aggressive. Okay. And of course, they had to discuss that aggressive word and how, as Black women, we do not like that word being thrown at us casually. And Tyrone, absolutely, because he did not handle breaking his connection off with her well, he then turned it around and tried to make it seem as if she was being aggressive because he didn't want to come off like the bad guy. So it was easier to throw her under the bus after you played her like a soybean burger over a woman that didn't really want you. Am I correct with that, Tyrone? Okay, fine. We'll move on from there. Okay. During the break, Aisha. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I missed that. I skipped it. During the break, Aisha says Camille was too aggressive, and Camille kept saying, keep it classy, keep it classy. Yeah, talk to yourself to keep it classy because everybody has had enough. You can tell that everybody kept it cute for the most part during the whole taping of the show. Now that we're at the reunion show, bitch, you gonna catch all this heat that we got for y'all. Okay, Brown Girl Squad, y'all gonna catch all this heat because y'all was out here acting a fool and everybody was just, sitting at the table shaking their fucking heads, staring off into the atmosphere. But today we gonna talk about some of these things. Okay, so everyone got emotional after Tyrone said what he said to Carrie, and I really don't know why. It was not that emotional. Oh my God, it was so heartfelt. No, it wasn't. He should have said it like that the first time. Tyrone plays down the way that he claimed Shiloh. Okay, talking about, oh no, I just said that she could be my wife. No, you showed up to the pool party and decided that you wanted to stop talking to everyone so that you can only focus on Shiloh, and it was too soon. It was way too soon, Tyrone. Please go to therapy. honestly, I feel like you should have chose Carrie, because Carrie seems like the woman that would have given you what you actually needed in the situation, which was a lot of grace and patience. To be honest. So I think you played yourself with that one, because even on stage, Carrie seemed to be such a positive and sweet woman and so open to, continuing on this conversation with Tyrone. I just appreciated Carrie's energy when she was on the stage. I don't know why people were trying to act like Carrie was a bitch when she was on the show, or there was something unlikable about her, because I didn't get that. And I definitely was here for her during the reunion show. So moving on from there, we get to Cornelius and Camille again. Okay. They definitely had to have conversations during the show airing about Cornelius' interactions with Courtney, because that was the only other woman that he really had an interaction with. And the fact that y'all had to talk about his interactions with these women every time y'all watched it together makes me feel like Camille is fucking crazy and possessive, just the way we think she is. And you want her to be your beard, so you're going to go along with it. Once they watched the show, together, I'm just saying, like, we're on a dating show. We're on a dating show. I'm dating other people. We were on the show together. Why do we have to discuss me dating the other women on the show as if I did something wrong? It's fucking stupid. And it is just repetitive of Camille being possessive of Cornelius in a situation where she really needed to calm the fuck down. Really. Sorry, that's how I feel. Okay, that's how I feel. Sorry. All right. So they definitely had issues from that. I also felt like when they were asking Cornelius questions, she was giving him the answers to the questions. Didn't like that. He's henpecked. He insists it doesn't take him long to figure out what he wants. So, it was cool that Camille basically pissed on his leg and said that he was hers. It's okay that she did that, because he already knew what he wanted. Lies and garbage. You said on the show in the confessional that you wished that you had gotten to know other women. And now you're sitting on here, in a fucking satin suit in a grill telling us that, oh no, I knew what I wanted. We both chased each other. Sure. That's why we didn't see any evidence of that. Sure. Courtney expresses that Camille was rather aggressive and came across as a bully. She did. Aisha expresses that Camille stopped other women from getting to know Cornelius. He says that he knows who he is and he knew what he wanted. This is his way of defending his woman. You can tell Cornelius and Naeem all met up with their women to have conversations about how they were going to defend their women on the show so that their women didn't have to argue with the other women about the way they acted. That's all this is to me. Is Cornelius trying to defend Camille and the way she came off to the other women. Sabrina says that she feels he has some regrets, and she would be correct. Zadia had this stupid ass smile on her face the whole time. It was almost like, I'm gonna smile because it's gonna keep me from cursing everyone out. And it's like, you have no reason to feel that way, ma'am. You were the one doing the most a lot of the time. So her doing that, it was just very condescending and childish. Like, it may have been a nervous tick, I don't know, but I found it annoying. Every time we looked at her, it was like, okay. It was just very condescending. Sorry. So the women feel like Zadia and Camille separated themselves from the rest of the women by calling themselves the brown girl clique. They don't feel like they separated themselves, but they absolutely did. Sitting up there talking about we're all brown. Okay, then why did you feel the need to, say that just y'all, you and Camille, and at first it was me, but it ain't me no more. And I feel like Shiloh might have been a part of that clique as well, but Shiloh didn't show up to the show. Okay. She wasn't there. And I'm like, girl, you punked out. You punked out. And I'm mad that you were not there. And it makes me feel like everybody must have been really right about you manipulating the situation with Phil, because why are you not here to talk about what happened on the show? I really want to know. I'm mad that she did not show up. Either way, I still feel the way I feel about Phil and the way he handles conflict with women when he has decided he's annoyed with them. And that's all I was ever really saying in the first fucking place. But either way, Shiloh chose not to show up, and I'm mad at her for not showing up. Okay. Zadia says that we're all brown girls, and Sabrina says, bitch, you've been treating me like shit since we met. So don't sit up here and act like Oh, we're all treating you bad now when you was treating us like shit the whole time. And then she says, Zadia, you're nasty and you're a bully. Like Sabrina was going off. Okay. I was like, damn, Sabrina, calm down. But apparently she was tired of Zadia's ass. And Zadia just got up and walked away with that weird ass smile on her face. I said, girl, go calm down. Go get yourself together. But I think it's funny that you had all of the conversation when y'all were at the dinner table. Now we're at the reunion show and you need to walk away. Really? You couldn't handle Sabrina? You couldn't handle her? That's unfortunate. I just kind of feel like I understand needing to have a moment, but I also feel like all that smoke y'all had when y'all was on the show, why you need to go in the back to calm down now? You were okay with handling all of that fucking conflict before, so why you can't handle it now that we're all coming at you with it? Like, what is the problem? Anyway, Frank, Sydney, and Mean, we get on them. We all knew that Frank was going to waste Mean's time. We all knew that, okay? Mean says the relationship hasn't gone anywhere. They haven't gone out. They haven't done anything. Frank says, well, he genuinely and passionately respects and cares about this woman. Once the cameras were gone, he realized the process had taken a toll. And, he's just very guarded with his relationships and his emotions because, he's been hurt. And he realized he may have hurt other people by, being guarded. But he says that things just didn't add up for what they, pictured for themselves and what they had talked about. Basically, he was talking in circles and basically saying he wasn't really feeling her like that. To me, all of what he said sounded like I was not feeling her like that. I just wanted to make it to the end of the show. We made it to the end of the show, and I decided that that was enough. Then Tanika says that he seemed so logical through the process. He had his connection with Sydney, who's beautiful, but a great friend. And he ends up choosing Mean because he said that she was what he needed. And now you're saying that it's totally different now. How does that add up? Okay. He says that he just felt like they got too close too soon. And this is when Mean had enough of the bullshit and decided that she wanted to go ahead and chime in. Okay. She said, I don't know what you're talking about because we never did anything to get close. So I don't know how we were too close when we never got that close in the first fucking place. Okay. She even mentions that while they were here, at the reunion show, he will initiate touch. And when she responds in the same manner, he'll then act like she's doing too much. Well, nigga, you need to stop confusing me. Okay. Mean then gives a speech about how she didn't listen to what the other women had said about Frank because they all said that he wasn't ready, a lot of them. And I was like, probably Aisha told you that, which is why we never saw what happened between Frank and Aisha, because Aisha probably peeped that Frank was on some fake fugazi bullshit, okay? Which is why she just dropped off from him. And then the next thing you know, her and Dante got the real deal going on over there, okay? But Aisha says that you have to be able to identify your mishaps as a person. It's not fair to show up in this world and keep hurting people just because you say you've been hurt. You hurt that lady by lying about your intentions with her. That's what you did. And now you're trying to sit up here and act like I just felt differently. Well, no, you knew when you chose her that you weren't really serious about her. And you let her believe that it was going to be more than that. That's fucked up, Frank. That's really fucked up. And the fact that we were all right about you, I mean, it's not surprising, but it's still fucked up to see that we were right about her too, wanting to be picked so bad, put all her ducks in your pond, and she shouldn't have, okay? They said that he wasn't ready, and she trusted him, and he has not kept his word. Mean says, she says, do you know what it took for me to open up during this process after everything I've been through? Aisha says, she said all that. I said that. Zadia says that he needs to view his relationship with women as friends, and that way he can always work from this is my friend, so I'll care about her feelings because she's my friend. A lot of men don't see their women as friends. They see their women as their women, an object that they can pull out to make their homeboys jealous. They can have children. This woman will help carry on your legacy, all of that, but she's not really your friend. You don't confide in her the way you confide in your homeboys. That's a problem. That's never a good relationship when a man doesn't view a woman as his friend, because it means that he will disregard her feelings as soon as they're not in line with each other anymore. Whenever their interests conflict, then, he doesn't care about her feelings anymore. And it's fucked up. So then we get into how the girls were fighting. And Sabrina asked if she should take her shoes off now. I said, child, that stripper in Sabrina is always ready to snatch a wig. And that's why she didn't come here with one on. Okay. Tanika asked where the tension is coming from with the women. And Naeem decides he wants to speak up. Naeem set his big goofy ass on this stage after not having a real connection with Zadia, but he has a matching suit on today. And he has the nerve to sit up here and tell all of these women that they're just jealous of Zadia because all of the men wanted Zadia. And then there were men co-signing what he was saying, like Corey's duck ass. But I didn't see anybody interfere or check Naeem for the way he was talking to those women as if he knew for a fact that they were just jealous of Zadia. You didn't even know what the fuck Camille had said at the table when you were sitting right there. So obviously you don't have the best purview of this situation. The only reason you're defending Zadia is because you want to fuck her. You don't really, have space to say anything right now. But he's defending Zadia as she sits there with that stupid fucking smirk on her face, as I said, okay? Carrie says, listen, this isn't about love. This isn't about jealousy. Zadia is a beautiful woman. I liked her at first. He interrupts and says, it seems like a lot of y'all were looking for friends and not love. It's like, sir, if you don't, please stop with the bitch assness, sir. Sir, please stop with the bitch assness, sitting up here arguing with these women, trying to force on them that they're jealous of Zadia. No, Zadia is disrespectful as fuck. And it's annoying to me that Frank, Walter, and all you other clown ass niggas sitting on that stage said all of that same shit about Zadia, but never once did you speak up during this scene, at least that we saw, because they could have cut it out. So excuse me if y'all did say something and they edited it out. But it seemed like all of the women were sitting there arguing with duck ass Naeem about whether they were jealous of Zadia and whether Zadia was really being rude to everybody or not. And I love that Carrie checked him and was like, no, sir, this is about respect. This is not about love. She can be respectful of us regardless of whether we are vying for the affections of some of the same men. Sydney says, can one of the men please check him? My God, give this nigga a peach. I enjoyed Sydney in that moment. He said, did I mention your name? Does it motherfucking matter? Because nobody mentioned your name when you decided to speak up on Zadia's behalf. We were speaking to the women. We weren't even really talking to you, Naeem, but you wanted to defend Zadia, right? Because you're trying to prove a point to her today, right? That's why you're doing all of this, because you want to prove that you're really fucking with her, because on the show, you made it seem like you wasn't really fucking with her. But now you wanna overcorrect that situation by arguing with these women, telling them that they're jealous. Okay, good sir. Okay, fine. Okay. Tanika asked Zadia specifically why she said Aisha didn't have any other connections in the dinner scene when obviously she did have a connection. Dante, your connection. And Zadia said she didn't have anybody locked in like Cornelius and Camille did, which is the, like they did, which is the point she was trying to make, that she was just jealous that she hadn't locked Cornelius down. And Zadia denies being jealous of Aisha and Dante's connection. I think she's on bullshit. I absolutely feel like she was feeling Dante more than she's letting on and thought she had him in the bag when she was running her mouth. Aisha explains the dinner scene. She said, I cooked dinner for everybody. We all sitting down talking. And I think the whole episode, everybody was like, it's time for Cornelius to go home. He's not talking to anybody else. It's time for him to go home. That's how this show goes. If you're not talking to a lot of people aren't saying they want to be with you, it's time for you to go home. Camille basically was on edge about them sending her man home, so she decided to threaten everybody at the table that she was going to kick their ass, okay? If Cornelius' goofy ass was put on the bottom. Camille then proceeds to lie to us as if we have not all watched this show and said they dubbed her voice. I said, listen, I don't know what reality show you watched and you thought that that was a good enough reason. They did not dub your voice, man. We saw those words come out of your mouth that you were going to kick their asses if they voted your goofy ass boyfriend off of the show. And guess what they did? Voted your goofy ass boyfriend off the show. Where the ass is getting kicked at, Camille? Now you're trying to act like you didn't say that. You absolutely said that, girl. Everybody knows you say that. Then at some point, Ticia is fed up with the back and forth and starts yelling that everybody is ghetto and her mom is in the hospital and she don't have time for this, right? So I commented that she should have stayed home. And apparently, she felt like I was shading her, talking about, like she said, it was contractually, she had to be there. And I'm like, girl, Shiloh wasn't there. Last year, Tressa wasn't there. Fucking Tommy wasn't there. You could have said you had COVID, bitch. You could have said anything as to why you were not there. If you wanted to be, at home and not dealing with the stress of this. And when I said to you, I hope your mom is okay, I really do mean that. I hope your mom is doing okay. And I didn't mean that in a messy way. I can't stand when people, want to find beef in what I'm saying, when I'm simply saying that if you're not in the headspace to deal with the bullshit of a reality show, then just don't show up like everybody else who chose not to show up to work today. Okay? I don't want to hear no shit about no contract, because everybody else had a contract and they still had people that didn't show up to the reunion show. So that's of no consequence at this point. And then I had somebody else commenting, talking about Iyanla Vanzant taught them that saying should is a judgment, and you shouldn't judge others. Or girl, look, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm judging. She should have stayed her ass at home if she couldn't deal with the bullshit of this reality show right now. Period. Be mad about it. Thank you, Steve, for the super chat. Naeem ain't said nothing the whole season, and now he want to say something, and something real stupid. That's why he hasn't been talking, because he doesn't have anything smart to say. Like, and then the fact that the person thought the comment that they made to me, like, first of all, my comment wasn't even half as disrespectful as some of the other shit that's been in these people's comments. It's just that y'all know I review this shit, so y'all won't come and comment on my comment. At the end of the day, I said what the fuck I said. I said she should have stayed home if she was not prepared to deal with this. Period. And the fuck? I could have said far worse shit. But Ticia always has an attitude to me. This entire time, Ticia has had an attitude, a problem, this whole time, okay? So this is not any different than the way she acted when she was on the show, as far as I'm concerned. Right. Still mad at them niggas from the first episode from putting her in the bottom. Thank you, Jessica G, for the super chat. Zadia, Camille, Cornelius, and Naeem were embarrassing. Y'all had weeks/months to come up with a legit strategy and reasons, and this is what they came up with. Because you can't come up with no reasons for why. And if you don't want to take accountability, then you're just gonna end up playing yourself. That's why it's easy to just take accountability, apologize, and move the fuck on. Yeah, I saw Ticia comment that to you. She made sure she commented to everyone that had a comment about her that she didn't like. You got too much time on your hands, ma'am. Because I'm not even commenting back to everybody in my comments. Not comments on somebody else's post about me. On my comments, I don't even have time to post to everybody. And you got time to be sitting up in Instagram going through commenting to everybody. Girl, stop. Girl, stop. That's a waste of fucking time. We gonna have an opinion and you not gonna like it. Don't read it. Don't worry about what we got to say. At the end of the day, bitch, you already showed up, and we can't wait to see you argue with Corey next week. So you here now. It don't even matter now. But everybody is entitled to have an opinion. That's what this is. Don't be in there reading them fucking comments if it's gonna upset you. And that's just what it is. Okay? No, her ass is just sensitive as fuck. I don't think she's trying to, stretch no 15 minutes. People just be too fucking sensitive for what they get themselves involved in. And if you sensitive like my ass is, then just don't read the shit. It's very simple. Ticia always been moody in attitude. You should know that sometimes things may not work out the way you want, and you may not always be everybody's cup of tea. You'll be on the show. Like, it is what it is. Aisha had Zadia so pressed. She did, because Aisha was doing a magnificent job expressing herself and calling everybody to the carpet for the immature activity that was taking place. Aisha knows how to present and feminine and be feminine with men. Yes, she does. Ticia seems to have a defensive attitude. Yes, she does. Ticia wanted to come. She definitely tries to keep a sedity attitude that she's too good for this, but you low-key like to validate you. You use it to validate yourself. Like calling everybody ghetto. I'm sorry, but you called everybody ghetto because they were having a conversation, because they were holding each other accountable, because they were going back and forth. Adults go back and forth. White people go back and forth. Rich people go back and forth. Poor people go back and forth. People have arguments. Why is it ghetto? It's a reality show. What did you think it was going to be? A kumbaya? Like what you thought it was going to be? That's all I'm saying. Don't be upset about people arguing at a reunion show. That's what it is. Have you never watched a reunion show? Like what we thought? It's hours and hours of people arguing and going back and forth so that they can edit it down to an hour and give us, the viewership, something entertaining to watch. Let me see what y'all saying. Ticia picks things to get upset about. Then when someone calls her out about it, she gets mad. I don't know what she was going through, but I like it almost felt like, so you really just was tired of the attention not being on you? Like, what was that? Storming off stage like somebody had said something to her. She stormed off stage like a petulant child. That was ghetto. To me, I was like, what the fuck? When nobody even talking to you? What is going on? What does the ghetto have to do with the conversation? She mad because she wasn't a part of the show. I really do feel like she probably felt like, I'm tired of being up here and ain't nobody talking to me. Probably. Okay. Exactly, Bonnie. Ticia can't be mad about them discussing her problems and trying to find some type of resolution. Sometimes it may not result in one, but you decided to come to this reunion. And that's the point. And that's the point. And yeah, I ain't judging you, bitch, but I'm judging you. You'll be okay. Just like motherfuckers gonna judge me. Okay? You'll be all right. We'll all be okay. What do you expect from a woman who got in a man's face on TV because he girl, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. Frank talked about the BGS on his show. He said they were really foul. The brown girl squad. He said Zadia was so nasty all the time. Her and Sydney almost came to blows at his house. It seems that way. It seemed like Sydney had the energy for them hoes. Like, I really wish Tommy could have hosted. He was definitely needed to get Naeem together. He was, because none of those other men were going to do it. And that's just fucking sad that everybody wants to be a punk. Everybody want to be a man until it comes time to check another man. And then you niggas is mute, acting like some fucking punks. And it's always a woman that has to stand up and say what's right and try to hold somebody to task because none of the men are going to do it. And it's just really unfortunate because what are you niggas there for? Like, that's what I'm wondering. Sometimes I have to wonder when men just sit quiet because they don't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, even though something is happening that as a man, it would be helped. If, the situation could be helped if you were to speak up and you don't because you pussy. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say that shit. That be irking me. And I see that a lot. We was just talking about that when we were talking about the real world, homecoming situation with Tammy and David. Like, it's just obnoxious as fuck when you men sit quiet, bitch made as fuck, but then want somebody to respect you as a man. Yet when it came time for you to speak up, you were sitting up there quiet as fuck with nothing to say because you don't want to ruffle any feathers. Since Frank and Sydney were already friends, I felt like they made a plan to have each other as a connection just in case so they could make it to the end. They probably did, which is even more so why Frank wasn't really, emotionally into anybody for real. Bondy, find Shiloh and get her on OFLP. Listen, y'all tell Shiloh, come on through to the show because I want to hear her side of things and what she has to say. I would love to. I would love to have Shiloh on OFLP. I'm annoyed no one really held Zadia accountable for getting in someone's face. It's not over. There's another part. The host was about to defend Camille against the aggressive comments until she saw them clips. Ticia has other things in her personal life she's upset about, but using things in the show as a scapegoat. I like the way Aisha played her part on the show. Very classy. I like the way that she was all the way sitting back most of the time. Most of the time, she was just leaning back. Like, I just felt like the bitch was aggressive. And I don't know why she was that aggressive. It was just uncalled for. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt about it. I don't know what was going through, like, Aisha was real chill most of the time. And I appreciated that. I want to see that same energy towards Zadia they was given to Phil. She really went after
She really went after Dante. She got in his face, but she ain't go after him. And nobody went after Phil like that. Who the fuck went after Phil? Everybody defended Phil. Everybody defended Phil against Shiloh. I was the only lone person feeling like Phil did some shit that he probably shouldn't have done, and he needs to learn that you don't get to make decisions for other people's bodies just because they're annoying you. You know. But y'all said I was wrong and that I was wrong. Shiloh will not be interviewing because she can't answer questions that hold her accountable. Well, that's upsetting because I would love to have her on the show so that she can explain all of what happened. Um, I don't think, but yeah, I don't think anybody went in on Phil. I think everybody felt like Phil is just a really nice guy. And, Shiloh was being manipulative and drunk and overreacting. That's what everybody feels like. So I don't know, I don't know. Okay. Sydney just seemed too bothered to me. Sydney was on one, but I wasn't mad at it because I feel like they really had beef going on. Like the way the girls are feeling is like a culmination of the way everybody, has been getting along the entire show. It's not just like, oh, we just showing up to be on one. Oh no, we ain't been liking these hoes the whole time. I know she be in my comments sometimes. Sabrina's very she commented on one of Jane reviews and said yeah. We would love to have Sabrina on as well. She's been in here before as well. So, you know, shit, if she hit Jamie up or if Jamie hit her up, I got other people I'm trying to get on the show, child. I can't talk to all these people at one time. They should have asked Cornelius if Camille wasn't there, who would he have picked and see how he would have got himself out of that one. That would have been a good question. Listen to the cast interview. Shiloh was drunk and confrontational. I did hear the cast interviews. Thank you very much, the Queen Revolution. I did hear the cast interviews. I do understand that she was drunk. I understand that she was working on everybody's nerves and that Phil felt the need to pick her up and put her in the car. Everybody's right. I'm wrong. Y'all happy? Everybody's right and I'm wrong. Phil should absolutely have been able to pick that lady up and put her in the car because she was belligerent and working on everybody's nerves. Are we good on it now? I mean, you could have swore to God that Shiloh screamed R, because of Phil or something like that. Like that's how everybody's acting. Okay. Nope, they're gonna be pissed about that too. But again, she wasn't alone, and you don't pick me up if you don't want to be touched. Like I just as a person who does not like people crowding me or themselves on me when I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? But like y'all said, she drunk and she needed a man to control her. So, it is what it is. You see Cornelius' interview, he spent the whole time stuttering. Yeah, because he lying. Notice how the first guy to get eliminated, the one that did poetry, wasn't there either. Yeah, he was. He had on some weird ass socks. He was there. Let's talk about Phil's hair. It took a whole season before he finally got it together. Child, did he? I need a close up next week. I wanted someone to ask Cornelius blank twice if you need help. Child, he wants to be there. He is a voluntary victim. Jazzy, I agree with you, but I guess we are dumb. Listen, I don't know. I guess we're all dumb. No, Phil shouldn't have touched her, but could have followed her. I mean, that's how I felt about it. But when I expressed that, everybody said that I was tripping and that Shiloh needed to be held accountable for, weaponizing her trauma against Phil and his hair plugs. According to Frank, Phil and Shiloh was out at the club celebrating Courtney's birthday. It was Courtney who told him to go after her that night. Right. And Courtney was saying that she was on one. I want to see the stuttering interviews. I appreciate him giving a fuck about her safety. In my opinion, she was drunk. I don't see it a man controlling her. If he lied, then he lied. Hey, if y'all appreciate, niggas picking y'all up and all of that, hey, that's on y'all. Great. Bonnie, who was your fave look? I don't think anyone was given like that. I think Sydney probably was my favorite look because I loved her hair, her makeup, and her dress looked really pretty. So I would have to say Sydney was my favorite look. Um Women don't realize when it gets to be abusive behavior. This Phil Shiloh situation just shows that we all feel differently. Nobody is dumb for not agreeing. That's how a lot of people make it seem, though. That's how a lot of people make it seem. Sabrina is exotic and has been praised and included for her whole life. When she was excluded from the Brown Girl Club, I felt like she felt the way. I honestly felt like it was more so because of their attitudes versus, them feeling away. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with, having a brown girl squad. Like I don't care anything about that. I think if the girls didn't have shitty attitudes, that wouldn't have been a situation. But y'all had a shitty attitude. So y'all very much, made that a thing where it didn't necessarily have to be. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Sabrina didn't give Walter a fair chance. Neither of them makes me wonder. Nah, Walter's on bullshit. Walter's on here to be seen and be on the show. Even in abusive situations, a lot of women blame the women. I mean, honestly, I didn't feel like, Shiloh never said the man wanted to harm her. She just said she didn't like the way he handled her and she was upset about it. And she also didn't like that he was being disingenuous about his feelings. Everybody felt like she was a piece of shit for that. So, hey, everyone's makeup didn't match their skin except for Camille. I don't think she was the only one. I don't know why that top picture you have making me laugh because it was the moment that Naeem was talking all of that shit. Frank said the Brown Girl Squad came from the night Zadia was trying to fight Sydney. Why isolate yourselves according to color? That's a good question. I think that a lot of times brown skin or darker complected girls have had to group themselves in order to feel like, they could be included in a group themselves because a lot of times they're ostracized for being darker than the lighter complected girls. Ultimately, in society, the lighter complected girls are sometimes perceived as more attractive, which is why Sydney was able to come in and everybody was like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Because of the way her aesthetic came off. Okay. So I personally believe that those women already have underlying, feelings and issues and prejudices about skin tone and how we've all been treated. And I think that when you are immature, you can allow that mindset to play in the way you treat other women. And I think that's what they did. Aisha is a brown girl. Look how they treated her. Don't put me in no car. You can talk to me and try to get me home. We got enough problems. Brown Girl Squad was a cover up for the Mean Girl Squad. I don't like that. They too old to be bullying in their at their big age. Yeah, that was basically what it was. They were the Mean Girls. Everybody did look red to me. Yes, but I still felt like Sydney matched. Like her titties and her face match. Zadia has too much masculine energy. I don't know if she has masculine energy. I just think that she has a chip on her shoulder. At the end of the day, Shiloh made a choice, so don't change her choice. If something had happened after the fact, she just have to deal with that bridge when she crossed it. It's very simple. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like everybody's acting like, there was some present danger, but I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like, oh, what if something would have happened? Then something would have fucking happened. And she's an adult and it would have happened to her. And she's the one that would have felt a way about that, for real, for real. Everybody wants to think about, well, how would, everybody would look at that feel? Like, fuck out of here. If something happened to Shiloh, Shiloh would still be the person that everybody should be worried about and not feel. Okay? But y'all always figure out a way to make it male-centered. Sabrina says she was bullied as a child and she doesn't stand for bullying now and that she has a voice to speak up. And she did. And I wasn't mad at her throughout the reunion. I wasn't mad at her. Because you can tell that she was like agitated by the way they were acting. The man in me would have called after Shiloh, but if she didn't care, then yes, she can keep on walking. Bye, girl. They say the Brown Girl Squad wasn't colorist, but the two women that came for first was Sydney and Sabrina, suspect to me. I don't think they were colorists in a way that they were like trying to fight other women because they were lighter complected. I think they grouped themselves together because they were the darker complected girls. And I just think they were mean girls. And that just became a part of who they wanted to identify their clique as. But that's not what it really was about. I don't think it was about, them ostracizing the other women because of color. I think it was really about their own insecurities more so than how they felt about the other women. They, I think, were going to have issues with other women regardless because of the type of women that they are. The Brown Girl Squad was not about color. It was about class, education, status. They are Greek, etc. It was 100% clear you are all getting caught up on the color. Yeah. Like I said, I don't think it was really about that either. Random, but I'm gonna need Tammy to come on with the final review. I know, right? Like I have been looking for it. I'm not gonna lie. Shiloh was well within her right to voice her opinion. I felt that way. I didn't feel like there was anything wrong with her saying she didn't like the way he handled her. Like, I don't know why everybody felt like, get a pitchfork and burn her at the fucking stake because she said he touched her in a way she didn't like. Bondi, my coworker was killed in a DC alley same way after she left her boyfriend at a bar and he didn't follow her. He is hated around town. DC streets are not safe. That is a very sad story, Pamela, but the lady is still dead. He could be hated on these streets all like, to me that sounds ignorant as fuck to be mad at this man because another man killed a woman. You need to be mad at the killer. And at the end of the day, regardless, the woman is still the one that's dead. So he may be hated. He should move out of DC where nobody knows him because he's still alive to do so. So at the end of the day, like I said, we still somehow want to make it about crying for these niggas when the lady is the one that's dead. Like, whoo, Lord. I live in New Orleans, y'all. It's not lost upon me that streets ain't safe. Like, it's not lost upon me. I'm from New Orleans, y'all. I don't know if y'all know about us, but we are a murder capital down here too. People get robbed, trafficked, and everywhere else down here in these New Orleans streets, just like they do in DC and everywhere else where there's a lot of crime. So you're not doing anything that's not gonna do anything to me. I don't live in a place that's so safe that I can assume that I would be safe walking down any street. I've walked down many a dark street at night. That does not mean that I deserve for something to happen to me and that I needed to do something different than what I did to make sure nobody hurt me. Nobody should fucking hurt me regardless. The idea that what Phil did was okay because in DC some years ago, a woman got killed in the alleyway, like because he didn't go after her and now the whole town hates him. The whole town needs to get the fuck over it and be mad at the person that killed her. And he needs to move because everybody around there is a hick that lives in the fucking north. I said what I said. I'm tired of y'all. Because I feel like niggas be trying to guilt you into changing your opinion about something when at the end of the day, danger is danger. A person can get hurt anywhere, anytime, with people, alone, in stores, in a car, at their house, could be in their house, sleep in their bed and get shot. Like, be in their car outside their house, get shot. Could be sitting next to the nigga in the car, get shot. Like, there's a story, somebody just got killed sitting in the car outside their house. In a car with they nigga and got shot. So it doesn't matter, y'all. That does not matter. In what Shiloh said, Shiloh is here to speak for herself as a grown woman, said I wasn't comfortable, and that's it. I wish she would have came to the reunion show. I really do. But, like I said, I'm wrong. Y'all are right. Phil should have taken allowance and picked her up and moved her to make sure she was safe because as a grown woman, she obviously does not know what is good for her. So, I agree. She could have got killed. He did what he was supposed to do. Everybody heard what they wanted to hear. Can we please leave it alone at this point? Actually, Frank interview last night with Crystal talk about this show. Seems like there is a lot to the story. I wish somebody would let us know what it was. I walked in the projects late at night many times. Shit, crime happens in the day. I seen numerous of people get shot in broad daylight with kids around. I worked in a news station. I have shown up to many a murder. I have shown up to many a dead body lying in the middle of the street, y'all. You ain't telling me nothing I don't know. You ever walk away from someone, if they stop following you, you stop walking? Leave me alone when I need space. If Courtney sent Phil to go after her, I can see how Phil got frustrated. Phil could have not. He could have not. He could have been like, no, we arguing. I don't want to go after her. Y'all want to go check on her? Y'all go do that. I'm going to sit in here and nurse this drink. Monty said that's a sad story, but because it is. But it's no different than somebody getting killed out here a couple of days ago in a car with their own man. Do you see my point? Like, you know, like niggas die every day, B, is what I'm saying. Sabrina did not give a fuck about being in the squad. She just didn't like them. I think she didn't like them because they were bitches. Okay. Hey, Bondi, would you review Women of the Women? I don't even know what that is, love. Thank you for the super chat, though. Thank you. Phil's biggest problem wasn't that he picked her up, but he refused to try to understand why it felt wrong to her. And that for me was the issue, is that when they sat down and talked, thereafter, he was just like, I still feel like I made an executive decision. And to me, I feel like that was indicative of a mindset that I'm not too fond of in men, where they feel like because they have a penis, they know better. You know what I'm saying? And that's just my only thing. That doesn't mean that Phil is some terrible guy, y'all. It does not mean that Phil is abusive. That just means that Phil has a blind spot as a man in a patriarchal, misogynistic society that tells him that he has a right to make decisions for women because he is a man and he knows better and he is going to be considered the protector. Like, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. But I'm tired of arguing with y'all about it. To be honest. But yeah, y'all. Look, nobody seems like the nicest person on this fucking cast. No disrespect, cast members, but this season was trash. We'll be back next week to finish arguing, though. We'll be back next week. Y'all know I live my life for this shit. All right, y'all. Hour and 30 minutes. I love y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the live, whether we agreed or not. Okay. And we'll come with some more fashions next week. Because when I tell y'all we're going to have to discuss Dante in this lace suit, child, we're going to have to discuss Dante in this lace suit. Right. And that's the thing, right? Sometimes people don't understand that you can understand all variables and still feel how you feel. Exactly. Especially when it shouldn't be an argument, just an understanding. And that you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that big. You know what I'm saying? Not that big. It's a dead horse. You know what I'm saying? I don't even care no more. Potomac in 2 weeks. Potomac in 2 weeks already? Bondi, you have a point. He did say, as a man, I had to make an executive decision for her to be safe. She shouldn't put herself in that situation, and he should have respected her space. They both grown. I agree, Shay. I agree with all of that. No, there was not a Ooh Ladies First this past week because our girl Jay Lee is sick, and so we're hoping that she will be better for next week. But that's gonna be on Jamie's channel, I believe. So yeah, y'all. I love y'all, and I hope y'all enjoyed. And I will holla. Oh, you mean what is that? What is that? RTL Potomac. What? Ready to Love Potomac. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I heard that the new Ready to Love is in Potomac. I didn't know it was 2 weeks, but y'all know I'm gonna be on it, child. We'll be back here to discuss these new singles as well. They are on it, bitch. Okay, yeah, no, this season was trash. I hope the next season is better. And I hope they hurry up and tape the new season because this season was so fucking trash. And I hope they do better with the editing this time around. Thank you very much. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I gotta go work out.